Hi, this is the video for our third lab assignment. So now it's showing the code for the tutorial. So for the first one, we have the function. So for function, first we have this code for the function prototype, or we declare a function first, and then in the main void, so we have int answer equal to surface. So here is surface and here is x and y. So we call the function above and then we put a value in it, so it's actually x and y. So and then we print the surface. So after that, return 0, and then at the bottom we define the function. So actually the surface is the function where intx have two intx and y. So answer equal to x times y. So we return to answer, and so when we run this, the surface is 45. So actually is x times y. So 5 times 9 is actually 45. So for the second one, we have a local and global function. So intb is actually a global function. So we have a function here called void display. So in void display we have a. So a equal to 5, and then we print, and then we print a and b first. So after printing the first b, we do b plus b, b equal to b plus 3. So in the main void, we define again this another a. So a is 10, and then display, we call the function above display, we call it in the main void. So when we run this, so at the first we have a 5. A5 is actually this is the local function. So we call it in the main void. So it actually just print the 5 for the local, and then for global we have b equal to 2. So actually the global function when you plus 3, so for the other local function when you run it also plus 3. So let us change this. If we doesn't have b plus 3, b equal b plus 3, so we run it. So actually b equals to 2. So it take the value from the global function, and then for the a value it takes from it local function. So for the first one is 5 and the second one is 10. And then for the third one we have array. So actually array is easy. So it's int. So we call it any name, and then we put a square bracket and we put any number. So actually the number 4. So we use this what we call it apa bunga bracket bunga. So 4. So we put a 4 number here. 1, 3, 5, and 7. So when we print, when we run this code, so it actually just print the. You need to remember that to print an array, it starts from 0. So this the value 1 is 0. So 0, 1, 2, and 3. So if we print 1, it will actually print the value 3. So if we want to print the number 1 in the array, so we put it 0. So when we print, array index is equal to 1. Okay, so this is easy. And we go on to the next one. We have the array display. So in the main void we put an array with a four numbers in it. So we can store 4 numbers. So it's the same number 1, 3, 5, 7. So to display this, we need to use I. So for I equals 0, and because the first value is 0, so remember the last one, the 0, 1, 2, and 3. So I is actually, and then will print when we run this array I. So we get 1, 3, 5, 7. So and then the next one. So for this array to function, so actually the first one is we have declare a function first. So we call it display array. The function name is display array. So for this one, we have two variable in it. So for the function main function, so we have int array1. So we have four numbers in it. So 2, 4, 6, and 8. And then we call the function display array. So we call the function in the main function. So we call it, and then this actually is array1. So it's for int a, and then 4 is the size. So return 0. So and then we declare the function, define the function here. So we define it as, so actually int for int I. So I is smaller than size, so I++. So and then we print ai. So when we run it, we will 2, 4, 6, and 8. So actually if we put this here is 3, so the size is 3. So when it run the function, when we call it here, so actually it will run until 0, 1, 2. So so we only print 3 value for the a. So for the next one, so for this one we have a min and max value in an array. So to get the min or maximum value, just like we have learned at the same semester 1 at MATLAB, we need to compare the value in the array. So now we have array, we have 5 value in it, so 6, 3, 9, 7, and 1. So and then we have the max variable called max. So actually we need to compare from the first one. So actually 0 is the value 6. So we compare from the first till the last. So for int I, so I equals 0 like less than 5 and I++. So if max is less than array I, so actually it will start from 0. So it will compare. So we take from the first value is 6. So it will compare with 6. So if 6 is less than 6, so max value, the value will update the value. So max equal to array I. So for I now is 0. So we will take I is array and then square bracket 0. So it will take 6. So when it will loop again, so until the last value here, so I equal to 4. So now if it run until I equal to 2, so when I equal to 2, it will compare with 3 and 9. So now it will compare 6 and 9 because 6 is larger than 3. So it will not update when I equal to 1. So now until I equal to 2, it will update because update to 9. So now max is equal to 9. So after that, it will compare to 9. So now max is not less than the 7. So it will not update here. So it will just loop until the end. So when we run, the max value is 9. So for the min value, so we changed it. So for min value, now we compare, we need to make it larger than array I. So if the value is larger, it will not update. So the min value is larger than array I, so it will update. It will take the smaller value. So wait, forget to change here. So now, okay, we run. So the max, so the min value is 1. Okay. So for the next one, we have the multi-dimensional array. So actually, multi-dimensional array is also easy. So we have we call it array1. So for the first square bracket is the number of row. So I make it 3 rows and 4 columns. So 3 rows and 4 columns. So we put a value here, and then so now we print. So this actually we need to remember it starts from 0. So the value when you call is we start from 0, 1, 2, and 3. So now I call array 2 and 3. So we see we have call from 0, 0, the first row, second row. So number 2 is the third row, so it's the value from here. So the column is start from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So it's actually the value 12. So when we run, it will output 12. As if we want to get the value 1, so we need to put 0 and then 0. So when we run, we actually output is equal to 1. And if we want the value like for example 7, so it's the first row and second row. So second row is number 1, and it's the first, second, third column. Third column is number 2. So when we run, it will output 7. Okay, that's all. So now we will look at a pointer. Pointer is something like, so the symbol of pointer is this one. So pointer is actually a function that can store the address of any variable. So address is something like where the computer store the variable. So this one have the address of itself. So we'll see later on. So init int number equal to 10, and then int we have the pointer. So the function we call it ptr as pointer. So a number means we take the address of the number, right? Means we take the address here. So actually the pointer, this one, is actually takes the value at the address of this one of num here. So when we run, so it will also output at 10. So the first one, we take the value pointer here. So actually it takes the value of the address of num equal to 10. So is also 10. So because it takes the address, it will copy directly. So at the same address. So now it will actually copy the address, because now if we print the address this one, this symbol is represent the address of the variable. So when we print the address for num and also the pointer, so actually the address is the same. Now we can look at this, then the both number is the same. So and then lastly we have call by reference and call by value. So actually this is quite familiar already. So now we have the function name increment by value. So we declare the function, and then the function is equal to num plus 1. So we'll print. So when we run it, wait. So when we run it, before the function is called, in the main function we call the function here. We call it in main function. So it's actually print the number first, 10, and then inside the function the num is plus 1. So we plus 1, so it print, and then print the function after call. So actually the number they will not save the number in this function, because this is not a global function, this is a local function. So that's why after the function is called, the value num is also equal to 10. But if we change it, we put a pointer here, we put a pointer, and then here we take the address of the number. Address, this symbol is address. So when we run, so actually inside the function is actually 11 already. num plus 1 because of the pointer, and now the num is the address is saved already, so it will actually become 11. So when we print the number and we call the address of number, and it will actually become 11. So that's all for the tutorial. So this is the code for the assignment, lab assignment. So first we declare the birth function resamples and filter noise. So we have resamples and filter noise. And then in the main function we have size, and then we prompt user to give input and scanf. And then we have the array for samples because maybe we need to store multiple samples, so we have to make it in array. And then we call the first function read samples, we call it here, so it will run the function, the define of the function later on. And then for I less than size, I plus plus, so the original, we make a copy of the samples here because we will use it later on. And then we call the function new filter noise, so we print the value for the samples. So now we define the function, the first function. So we have two variables, float samples because we call it samples, and then size. So because this one we use sample because when we print, it will not repeat the number of original samples. It will print the number of samples in the when the value is changed. So it will not print the original samples at here with the use of pointer. So the code is like this. When while we need to take the value between 0 to negative 100. So then we define the second function, filter noise. So actually also the same, almost the same. So threshold equal to negative 80.5. So if the sample, the value of sample is larger than threshold, so the samples will equal to the threshold is actually negative 80.5. So now we run. So enter the number of sample, let's say 3. So for the first one we make it, let's say 1. So the code will interrupt because it's not between the range 0 to negative 100. So let's say we make it negative 95, and then negative 80.49, let's 25 first, and then negative 80.51. So when we run the original sample here, so it's actually here, and then the filter sample, so negative 5 is smaller than the threshold, so it will not change. So for the 25, the value is larger than threshold, so the value will equal to threshold is negative 80.5, and then the 80.51 is less than the threshold, so the value is not changed. So that's all for the code. Thanks.